on Thursday. Anything jump out at you listening to Nick Nurse in his post-game press conference?
Let me say this first off. I want to give my condolences to head coach Nick Nurse. He lost his brother recently, and so he's in mourning, and he still has to work. And Coach Nick Nurse is somebody who I've followed probably most of my career when he started off as a G League coach out there. And so my thoughts are with him and his family during this time. Man. He's a real stand-up guy, one of the best coaches I've covered in this league. So I just want to put that out there because he's dealing with things beyond basketball.
No question. I mean, his brother Steve, for those who didn't know, passed away unexpectedly at the age of 62. And so Nick Nurse stepped away from the team, went to the service in Iowa on Tuesday, and then has to come back and try and get your head in a space where you're coaching a playoff basketball game. You can't even imagine what the last few days have been like for Coach Nurse and his family. So well said, see, I appreciate you taking the time to do that. Rollo, it seems silly to talk about basketball, but that's what our job is on this show in the association. For Nick Nurse, his staff, and the Sixers, Game 3 is going to hinge on Joel Embiid's health, because it was not just one injury that kept him out of Game 2. It was ankle and hip. So we don't know where he's going to be at in a couple of days. Is there any specific adjustment, whether he's there on the Joel Embiid is on the floor or not, that you want to see from them when they're back home in Philly?
Well, one of the major points, he was right. It was shot making for them, especially down the stretch. They just went cold. But you got to control things you can control out there. And I think that they're going to have to figure out ways to make sure PG and Tyrese Maxey are getting better looks. If they're not making those shots, they got to get better looks down the stretch. Because we mentioned it, with Joel out, those are other two members of their big three. They can't be scoring, what was 11 combined points or something in the fourth quarter?
12,
You said 12 combined points in the fourth quarter. That's unacceptable, and they're aware of that.
For sure. There were something that he did talk about, Nick Nurse did, was a couple of plays at least, where ATOs after timeouts where they turn the ball over.
Yeah.
I mean, just kind of inexplicable. And not that it didn't happen for New York and doesn't happen for every team, but in a tight postseason game, those things get magnified at the very end.
See, well, precise. That's kind of the other side of the coin, right? You're hoping that your guys can make one or two more shots. You're hoping that Karl-Anthony Towns is probably going to get his. You're not going to take his scoring down from 23 to 6 points. That's extremely unlikely. You're hoping he scores 17 points, so you're hoping you take two.
So it's being efficient with your opportunities, your possession.
Precisely, right.
Yeah, and they didn't do that. I mean, they didn't even get. It's not that they fumbled a shot; they didn't get the shot off because they turned the ball over.
Right.
Yeah.
And what happens is when Embiid is not there, it exposes Tyrese Maxey. And this, I'll explain what I mean by that. During the regular season, teams don't throw all their defensive tactics out there.
Right.
They wait till the playoffs. So for a guy like Tyrese Maxey, who's pretty ball dominant, he's going to have the ball in his hands a lot of times, he's going to get trapped in blitz. And that's one thing Nick Nurse talked about. So when you're getting trapped in blitz, you got to get the ball up. And then when you do get the ball back, you're forcing the shots because you know somebody else is going to come. So you want her to get a shot off before the double does come. And that messes up your rhythm. That messes up the team's rhythm, right? And it gets you all out of whack. And I think we saw that a lot. Again, Tyrese Maxey didn't have his most efficient game. Got 23 shots up, but you could say a lot of those shots were rushed. A lot of those shots were contested, shooting over double teams, shooting fadeaways. And that's the thing. That's what the Knicks can do because they have a ton of bodies they can throw at you, big and small.
So go ahead.
I was just going to mention this is a very peculiar first round series. It's a very peculiar second round series as well because we've established that Philadelphia is not your typical 7 seed.
Yeah. No, I think most of the regular season was like if this team's healthy,
yeah,
right,
they're going to be a problem.
They played a 2 seed that might not be a regular 2 seed in the first round.
Yeah.
And now they have to play this New York Knicks team
3 seed
that's potentially
A
the best Eastern Conference team standing.
You're right.
So they're in a really interesting situation where they can't bide their time, really, you know?
And it's going to, I'm going to have to get back on the Sixers bigs. If Embiid is not available, those bigs, and it doesn't mean points. Like Drummond has 6 points, AB off the bench had 2. That's 8 points from your center tandem right there. One thing about Embiid, what he does provide, amazing screening. He's one of the best screeners we have in this game. Yusuf Nurkic, Joel Embiid, just to name a few, where they get guys open for good looks. And that's going to be needed if you want to get Paul George and Tyrese Maxey back on a roll scoring efficiently. So if you're not able to score, which these guys, you can't expect them to go out there and put up Embiid-type numbers. You got to do other things to help your teammates out to score more on a regular basis.
At least the minimum in that regard, because we all realize the greatest gift that Embiid gives that team is his gravity on the floor. The way he changes the defense out simply by being out there, simply by being at the high post, simply by being at the block. That's something I fail to think of other bigs in the league who can replicate it. You know, Joker.
Yeah.
Joker perhaps.
He has a gravity like that.
But
Wemby
maybe Wemby, yeah. But you can count them on one hand. And that's something that we saw in effect in the Boston series.
Yeah,
You know,
Joe Mazzulla said the same thing. He said when the series changed, when Joel Embiid came back. So let's get back to the podium. VJ Edgecombe just sat down to meet with the media after the Sixers Game 2 loss.
Yeah, I think we got a lot of great looks, wide open looks. Like I said, everything we just was missing. We were pretty satisfied with the looks we were getting at the end. So yeah, in the fourth quarter. So yeah.
This is not the first time we've talked about something like this, even in the playoffs, let alone this season. When you guys are going through that, is there anything that you or anyone else maybe says to the group to try to keep everybody sort of engaged and locked in and confident in the shots that they're taking?
Yeah, I mean, we just be like, just keep shooting.
You guys want to be in it, too. I mean, you guys were down 3-1 against Boston and were able to rally and win that series. Is there anything you can take from being down 3-1 and then apply to the situation being down 0-2 at the moment?
Yeah, don't give up. We're not gonna give up. They did what they had to do and protect home court. You know, so like I said, we won't give up. We're gonna keep playing hard regardless.
As far as the game goes, is this a game that you guys are going to look at tomorrow and feel like maybe we should have gotten this one?
Yeah, we felt like we should have won it. Like I say, it came down to shot making at the end of the game. They were making shots, we wasn't. I felt like, Brunson made a lot of tough shots towards the end of the game. We missed wide open ones. So, like I said, we were, even in the timeouts, we were confident the whole time.
On the whole, how did you think you guys handled the Brunson assignment today versus in Game 1?
I think we did pretty good. Yeah, I think we did pretty good. I say he's a good player. He's going to score. We won't hold him scoreless. He's a good player. But I think we did a real good job. I said everyone was scoring for them. So yeah.
You guys turned it over 18 times today, and that was a bit of a struggle in Game 1 too. Why do you think you guys had trouble taking care of the ball so far?
I just think we had missed passes, to be honest. Like, I know I had a few just bad passes. So like I said, we know we gotta cut down on turnovers. That's not who we are as a team. We all can protect the ball. We all can dribble. We all can, pass the ball. So we just gotta be more responsible with the ball. We were careless, especially me and Ty. So yeah.
Seemed like you went down.